Afternoon. Thank you all for being here. Can you guess why we are here today? No guesses? Okay. Well, I will let the mayor come to the podium to make a clearly amazing announcement. He'll take a few questions afterwards, and then we'll let you guys inside to walk around Thalia. Okay?
All right. Good afternoon, and thank you, as always, for joining us for what has been our tradition of weekly press conferences to provide the residents and the media information for important matters that the residents are concerned with. We stand here excited here at the conclusion of our administration to reopen Thalia Mara Hall. Today marks what we view as a full circle moment, rejoicing in the iconic space where community has come together for decades in the city of Jackson. Thalia Mara has always been more than a venue. It has been a gathering place for people in the city of Jackson. From its first-class ballet performances to gospel concerts, Thalia Mara Hall has been the backdrop for our city's rich cultural history. Generations of Jacksonians have built memories with these walls, and today we honor its legacy while looking forward to the future. We're not only excited to have overcome many of the challenges that led to it being shuttered for a period of time, we are hopeful for the future of this auditorium, that it may be able to provide a more up-to-date experience for residents, inviting shows that people are able to see across the world, bringing them here to Jackson. So this is an investment in the future. I want to take the opportunity to thank the many people that brought this moment into fruition. Not only our Human and Cultural Services Division and the individuals that work within that department, but also the great work of Mr. Imad Al-Turik and his group that has been working to facilitate and manage the work that has taken place here. And so I want to thank them for their hard work. And if I could bring Imad forward to share the details of where this project is today. There are a few remaining items to be done, but those items do not preclude the hall from being open and shows being able to take place here at Thalia Mara. So, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Good afternoon. As the mayor stated, the facility has really been approved. All the remediation work has been cleared. All the tests have been excellent, actually. And then the fire marshal, the state fire marshal, approved the reopening of the facility. So the only two remaining items one is the reinstallation of the fire curtain. The fire curtain has been ordered. They're manufacturing it right now. So we suspect probably sometime in August it will be here. So we need probably a week or so to install it. But prior to the installation, as you probably heard before, the beam where the fire curtain is going to be installed, there is asbestos in that beam. We don't have to do anything with it if we don't disturb it. But since we're going to anchor the fire curtain to it, there will be some disturbance to it. So we're going to have to remediate the beam, which will probably take another week or so to do that. The last thing which will be done in the fall of next year is going to be the installation of the second chiller, which has been ordered. This probably has about 14 to 16 weeks time before it arrives. So once the second chiller is here, we will install the first and second chiller, and then the facility will be 100% complete and ready to go. In the meantime, this is not going to impact any events that will happen. We'll just coordinate with the Department of Human and Cultural Services to work around those two remaining items here. Thank you.
Thank you again. As I was speaking about the memories that residents have here at Thalia Mara, it actually brought to mind one that's personal to me, and I think it's appropriate to mention this as we come to the close of our administration. It was actually here at Thalia Mara that I remember early in my first term that I was asked by one of our local media reporters whether my wife was pregnant with our second child. I think it was Ross. He's denying it right now. It was Ross who asked that question, being intrusive as he normally is, right? But that's a memory that I will have here, and we look forward to residents filling this hall up again. And so this is a call to action. This is a call to action for residents to become aware of the events, aware of the performances that are taking place, that will take place at Thalia Mara, and come back. Come back and enjoy the culture in your city. Come back and support the economy of this city. Your city needs your support. Your city needs for your investment. And Jackson is full of a vibrant culture that we want not only residents of Jackson, but people in the greater Jackson area and beyond to come and enjoy. And so I really would like for the residents to hear that cry. And I can assure you that you will see me on more than just a few occasions come back and enjoy all that Thalia Mara has to offer. Because this is, I'm going to call this person in the middle who is not a part of the staff to come and join me at the podium. I just, because this is my last press conference, I just want to end it with an expression of gratitude. I'm grateful to the residents of Jackson for giving me the professional honor of serving you. I have enjoyed the service. Not necessarily every moment has been an easy one, but grateful for the opportunity to try to build our city into a better place. When people understand what this city means to me, you understand what the service, the opportunity to serve means. Moving to Jackson in 1988 was the best decision my parents ever made. We not only found a home, we found community. I have spent more time with the residents of Jackson than I have my own blood relatives. This is the place that my parents are buried. And this is also the place that we raise our little girls. And so I thank you, residents of Jackson, and I thank you, Ebony Lumumba, for giving me the opportunity to do this. I thank you for your patience, not only with the hours that I've served, but also your patience with, whatever frustration I was dealing with and how I may have taken that frustration off, on the people at the house, right? And, if I must say, not only, are we moving on, but you have had the very best First Lady that the city of Jackson, in my biased opinion, has ever had. And so the new opportunity that I go forward, and I will be going into my law practice, I will be going into some consultancy, but it also gives me an opportunity. She will remind me time and time again that I get to be in the carpool line, right? That I get to take our girls to school more often. But I also get to be a fan of somebody that I admire each and every day, and that's my wife, who is brilliant, just absolutely brilliant, far more intelligent than myself. I think, Anthony, that says a lot about me, that I would marry somebody smarter than me, right? But I'm grateful that I now get to take that opportunity to do that. So, thank y'all. And with that, I'll open it up to any questions that you have.
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
thank you for your service for the past 8 years. As you prepare to leave office today, what are you reflecting on as what you want to be seen as your legacy, as something that you're most proudest of serving the past 8 years?
Yeah, so I've been asked the legacy question, and I give the same response to that. I think legacy is not for me to determine. That's for the residents of Jackson to analyze. I will tell you what my effort has been, right? My effort has been to fight for the interests of the residents of Jackson. Sometimes that comes through amicable agreement, right? And sometimes that has come through, a little more resistance, right? But I love this city, and I would hope that people understand that I'm an individual who just loves Jackson, and that's all that's important to me. I love Jackson. I will always love Jackson. And again, I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve the city.
Mayor,
Yes.
you mentioned your wife, and obviously that was a highlight of having her support, but is there a certain moment in the last 8 years of you serving the city that you hold very dear, a project or a initiative that you hold dear in your tenure?
Well, you know, I will just share that this job is a fast-pitch sport, right? There's you know, an abundance of challenges that have to be addressed, and it seems like the moment that you've gotten over one hurdle, there's another one that you know is waiting in the shadows. It's hard to pick out one particular moment, but there have been a lot of things that we've been proud to be a part of. We were proud to be a part of stopping our school district from being taken over. We were proud to be a part of holding an international company accountable because, as was appropriate, as was pointed out at one point in time, we were but a few weeks from being insolvent, right? Our enterprise fund not being able to be utilized whatsoever. And so it was a necessary step. It's one that we didn't take hastily, but after much review. And, you know, Jackson being taken advantage of for years by many contractors, I think that was a pivotal moment to say that this city is going to hold people responsible for the work that they do. We're grateful that we were able to secure money for our water system. Obviously, the challenges with our water system are not yet done, but it represented a sea change from where we were, and our hopes is that we continue to build on that, that there are alliances with the city of Jackson that continue to work in the interest of the residents of Jackson, while at the same time looking at the issue of affordability for each resident. You know, we believe and we want everybody of goodwill and intention to move to the city of Jackson. We want to welcome more people in, but we also want to make certain that the people are here can afford, right, and can have the privilege to continue to call this place home while getting the very best from it. We believe that we can't move people from one state of misery to the next, and so they deserve to be here. And how much your water service costs is a factor for many residents, people who are on set budgets. Whether or not you have water is a factor for businesses that we want to stay in the city of Jackson. And so those are things that I'm very proud of. But if let me say this. I said that I wouldn't pick out one thing. If there's something that I'm most proud of, it's the team. It's the team that I have. Individuals who, none of them were looking for jobs, right? They were working in their own capacity. If I take Fidelis Malembeka, who was at Piney Woods Country Day School, having worked for the McDonald's Corporation, was enjoying a significant role in that work, but so loved his city, was so inspired by the opportunity to not only improve the conditions for residents, but for his own family, that he left the safety and comfort of a job that he was already in to join the city of Jackson. If I look at Chris Gray, who has been working, which was the first council person that you worked for, Chris?
Marshall Weaver.
Marshall Weaver, right? That's how far back he goes in terms of working for constituents, being willing to join us, leave the county to come here. Mr. Alturic, who has taught me a lot through this contractual role. People have continued to ask us, about getting a public works director, right? And one being at the tail end of a term that was not only a difficult endeavor and that didn't make a lot of sense, but also I can tell you that we have found efficiency in the contractual process for a public works director, learning things, learning kind of shortcuts that some contractors may take, and how we hold them accountable so that the residents get the service that they deserve. I look at Dr. Pamela Scott, who is another individual that I've known for quite some time, we go back to the bus at Callaway High School. We rode the school bus together. She was a year or two behind me, but she always held herself in a respectable manner, grew into a respectable professional that just loves this city, is a social worker at heart. Once a social worker, always a social worker. I believe that is the slogan, right? And so in this work in human and cultural services, she brings a heart for that, and I'm grateful for that. Louis Wright, you know, it says a lot about a person to be a founder of Entergy. He knows that I'm going to say that, right? When the first light pole of Entergy was laid, Louis was there, right? He worked for 47 years for Entergy. And when we knew that Dr. Blaine, our former CAO, was going on to Washington to do some work, and is now, if you don't know, he is now the president of the University of Bahamas, right? And so that's the type of acumen that we've been able to present to this work. But when we were looking for someone, we wanted somebody who was an executor, someone who could make sure that the job got done, but at the same time be able to remain be able to maintain stable relationships and make sure people felt dignity in their work. And so grateful that Louis was willing to join us. And you know, after 47 years, literally a lifetime of working in another career field, to be willing to take on this work says a lot about him, and I'm grateful for that. Dr. Omari, who has known me before I knew myself, all right, has always committed herself to working for people, has put her life on the line at times for that endeavor, and initially denied me, initially turned me down to be my chief of staff. I felt it was important that we had continuity, having served as my father's chief of staff. I wanted to have that person in the room, that those questions that I really wanted to ask of what would he have done, or what would he have said, or what were the discussions. I was able to have her in the room to do that. She's one of the most intelligent people I have ever encountered, right? And so I'm just grateful to have been able to work alongside her. Vic goes to these ribbon cuttings when I don't go, so I appreciate it. Vic does it, you know, and he's always relieved whenever I show up. But no, he's one of the Weebies, right? I call the city employees for the city of Jackson Weebies, which mean we be here when you be gone, right? They are the foundation of our city. They are the ones that are the front line that provide the services to our residents, and we have to appreciate them. We have to show them dignity in their job, while at the same time making sure that they understand the importance of the work that they do and the demand or the call to action for the residents of Jackson. I look here at Melissa Faith Payne, who I'm grateful. Again, y'all know that she had another job, right? Y'all are well aware of that, and was willing to make a transition into this work with us. I've not only found peace, or I not only was able to find peace in our comms strategy, not feeling like I had to kind of be it all at times, right? But she rallied the team together and was able to work with Kai and you know, make sure that we're able to expand. And now there are more ideas. We have things like a youth film camp. We're broadening our horizons as to what it means to be in film production in the city of Jackson, right? So I'm grateful, and have not only found her to be a great professional, but also a friend, right? Marcus Williams, better known as GOAT, who always hides from the camera. You know, your detail guy is with you every day. It's inevitable that you build a bond and you build a relationship. I can tell you, when it came to, you know, critical things, when I was concerned about the safety of our city, and made the step that we tried to ban open carry because of our fear of that, and it wasn't popular amongst other people. There were threats on my life, right? I became angry not so much even for the threats on my life, but I became angry for the threats on my family. And he took me in a moment that I was ready to walk up on somebody, right? I was ready to go and you know, like any man would do when his family is threatened. And he was a common spirit that said, no, that's not the way we're going to approach this. And so he not only protected me from others, he protected me from myself in that moment. I don't know if you remember, there was a press conference where a mentally ill individual had a gun. This was right in front of the Chamber of Commerce when we were announcing the opening of our TSA global entry, or the ability to get TSA pre-check. And he literally disarmed somebody, right? I always wondered if it came down to it, whether he would be up to it, and he proved on that day that he was, right? And so I'm just grateful to have worked with these individuals. And if someone wants to know what I'm going to miss the most, I'm going to miss seeing them each and every day. I'm going to miss working with them each and every day. But at the same time, I think that we've built a bond and a relationship that won't go anywhere.
One more
Thank you.
question, Mr. Lee. I understand you said your legacy will be proven by others. You saw what you did. Nobody was able to clear the path for everything in Jackson that's wrong. It's not possible. Not enough time in life. In your opinion, though, about yourself, is Jackson better off? Did you leave Jackson better than you found it?
Yeah. I can say without reservation and unequivocally, if we remember where we started, we are in a much better position than we started. And my goal was not so much a goal of re-election as it was making sure that we were in a better position than when we started. And so I think that it makes the position of being mayor a much more attractive position for others, understanding that you don't have to deal with insolvency, understanding that you don't have to deal with even a general fund that were furloughing city employees because we couldn't balance our budget, right? Understanding that we paved 144 streets. There are residents that still are waiting on their roads to be repaved, and you don't really feel it until it's your street that gets repaved. But that is a significant undertaking. Understanding that we have residents that don't have the ability, they may be disabled and can't drive their own vehicle, and we restored a public transit system. Understanding that we provided the first ever bike lanes in the city of Jackson. And, you know, even going through the many measures to save the city from different threats, whether it be the school district or other financial threats, I think we're in a better position. But I will say that we weren't perfect, right? I will say that we didn't meet every single goal that we wanted to meet. I will say that the residents still deserve more, right? I will say that our prayer will always be the city of Jackson to continue to grow, continue to prosper, continue to build, and that we can not only move past our challenges, but create a greater bond amongst ourselves. And that does not always take place, but as someone who has not always lived in Jackson, I see the promise and the beauty of a city that we need to embrace and appreciate for ourselves.
I have one question.
Okay.
I was just really curious if you've been reflecting on the New York City mayor's race. Any parallels or contrasts or anything that you're thinking about Jackson in reference to?
Yeah. So I have some colleagues in New York. I have associates do different work that I've done over time, and I know that it's been a hotly contested race, and I know that the ideology of some of the candidates is really front and center. But I've been having a lot going on for myself that I haven't really been able to dive too deeply into it, so it'd be unfair for me to give any real impression because I'm not informed enough from a research standpoint to give any true analysis to it. Jackson politics is enough for me, to dive into New York. So, yeah. Yes, sir.
Do you ever see yourself running for office again in the future?
I will share this. Having not always been disciplined in this regard, you know, my answer to anything that I would do is, you know, I'm going to be obedient to what the Lord has for me. I can tell you as I stand here at this moment in time that I have no intention of running for mayor again. That is not something that I see within view for myself. But I'm grateful for the opportunity. I don't say that from a place of any bitterness or resentment. I say that from a space of the Lord gave me this opportunity. I never saw myself running for mayor to begin with, right? And circumstances as they were just led me down this path. And again, it takes a lot for people to sign their name and say, or to check a box and say that we're going to trust you with our lives. And so that's very humbling, and I'm grateful for that. But I have no intention of running again.
Hey, one final question. Can you talk about the transition, how that's going, and I guess what's being done in that regard?
Yeah, all I can say is that, you know, everything that's been requested, to my knowledge, we've tried to provide, and you know, at no moment in time have I ever been made aware that anyone was delaying anything. I have sat down with Senator Horn. I have had a conversation with him, and I answered, you know, as extensively as I could about whatever questions he's had. He asked me, would I be available if he had any other questions, and I told him I would. I told him my number has not changed. I don't intend for it to change. And so if there are any questions moving forward, you know, I don't really take this work. You know, I try not to take this work too personally, as I do, you know, the overall objective of making sure that as a city, as a community, for my family, that we're all moving forward. So anything that I can do to be helpful in that regard, I want to do. I will share, just so that no one interprets this as some negative gesture. I will not be at the inauguration. That's not because I'm not supportive of that. It's not because, you know, anything negative. It's because I got to work now, y'all. I got a job, right? I got to get into some work in my legal work and make my transition. And so because of a prior commitment, I won't be there. But I wish them well in the festivities, and my prayer is one of success.
One final question, and sorry to bring this up. When you look at Jackson Water at this point in the city's water system, is the city still at the point where we're under an emergency? Or do you think, I know there's a declaration, but is the system still in emergency status?
Well, let me answer this in the most fair way possible. Because the operations are not in the city of Jackson's hands, I obviously would not have the same view on the situation as I would have had previously. And so that can best be answered by those that are working with the water system each and every day. But I can share that my knowledge of the work that needed to be done is that we needed to replace about 100 miles of galvanized pipe because Jackson principally has a water distribution challenge. There are many forms of water insecurity, and your water distribution can lead to water quality challenges, right? For those that are going in there. And the fact that we still have not been able to replace that amount of pipe, I do believe that there is still a lot of work to be done. I can't tell you about the efficiency of the plant itself. I can share that there were great concerns about even the layout of the plant at that time. I'm sure that there's been a lot of work in order to provide more efficiency there. But I would imagine that there's still a lot of work to be done. And that's not being critical of anyone. That's just saying that we need to know what we face in front of us. And if we have a clear view of what we face in front of us, then not only can we prepare for where we have to go, but that also means that we have an understanding in how we should be patient through that process. And if we have benchmarks of where we're going, then residents, I believe, are understanding. I think the greatest resource in the city of Jackson are the residents. Residents who have, from time to time, been, you know, self-sacrificing enough to tax themselves more for Jackson, the benefit of Jackson's infrastructure, that have been patient through years of a declining infrastructure, but still bring such a rich culture to this city and a sense of place. And so I think we'll get there. I think we'll get there, and that's my prayer. That's my prayer. All right. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate it.